Field opened back in 1924 with the Bears becoming 10 since 71, and what a home field advantage it has become here in Chicago. Today we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
These two teams, they met up earlier in the year back in Week 2. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Back to Montgomery on second down.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
Those defense for the Packers, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they...
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. It's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
Now a throw here to his running back.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? They were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Yeah, boy, the strength on display there as he rumbles through tacklers for a gain of about 8. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? Five or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive.
Again, and he will not get in. In fact, he might have lost a yard. Back to the 2.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on third and goal. Let's see what they do on fourth and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on fourth and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
The kick by Crosby is good, and the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead.
Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there, all the things that have gone on. And the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball. Now,
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they'll be looking to make amends for that first drive, which came to a rather abrupt ending.
Certainly did, and I remember going back to my notes before this game, and a lot of times when I scout a guy, I have a little section about how does he handle adversity. And in this case, a big check mark. He may have thrown the first interception, but I don't think he's going to throw very many more.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Here's Fields.
He's got him in, complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A gain of 28 yards there and give him the first down.
If your sympathies lie with the defense, you understand how tough it is for linebackers to run with a guy like this. He's going to slip out of the backfield and then work in the middle of the field. And sometimes those defenders get preoccupied with other people moving, and he finds open space and makes a nice play.
They run for the first time with Ty Chandler.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Jair Alexander up to make the tackle.
The Bears at 8-4 now in the year. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
On play action, Fields.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, yeah, right at the 15-yard line here.
At their own 15-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting into the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
On 2nd down, it's Jones. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there's no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now it's Rodgers. Forced out to his left.
Open man left side. It's the tight end, Tunyon. He's got room at the 30.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 36 yards on the play.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Rodgers now to throw. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing now is Rodgers.
The throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But when the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it and let's go with it.
2nd and 5 now. Fields, he's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And 3rd and 8 now.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. His pass on target, Velus Jones with it. And he will have the Bears 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the 1st down.
Out of the gun, Fields.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Back to Montgomery on second down.
Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Ninth play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
He'll leave it for Montgomery complete.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Throwing again on second down.
Fields. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. And the Packers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Throwing is Rodgers. He's going to look deep down the field.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that, but that would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
This one swung out here to Jones.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers.
That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon.
And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That one goes for 36 yards.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
And he's down into the red zone at the 16 after a gain of 16. 1st and 10.
But whenever you call and run the hitch route, a lot of times that ball's got to be in the air before the receiver even turns around. That's the result of throwing it so many times in practice is really a timing route. Make sure that ball's out of your hands.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So now on 4th 4th down, Rodgers will give way to Mason Crosby for the field goal try. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will stay a one-score game as the lead will hold at 6.
I can remember a game here in Chicago a few years back. It was so blustery that Robbie Gould tried a field goal and just about kicked it out of bounds. Once that wind starts coming in off Lake Michigan, it can cause havoc in the kicking game.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Fields on 1st down. And incomplete on the deep ball.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Fields. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will do it for this first half. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. This taken in at the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Michael O.J. Mudia. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown, and this lead changes hands here in the third quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And boy, that sure turned out well for them.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This fielded right at the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. This game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those deep.
They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker.
And they will score. Pick six for a Bears touchdown.
Well, Charles, just some visibly frustrated players and coaches on that sideline right now because those halftime adjustments didn't work. The turnover problems continuing here in the second half, and the defense now sitting pretty comfortably as a result of that pick six.
Hey, that's a great observation, too, Brandon, because they did make adjustments at halftime. But how about this other group staying a step ahead despite whatever happened in that other locker room? No surprise they're leading, and it's appropriate. Those defenders got to add to the lead directly.
Taken at the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
And this is caught. And it's a Packers touchdown. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play, one-on-one matchup of someone trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
And he will have the Bears first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Fields now to throw.
And that'll be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
Fields. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Back to throw. Fields.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 52 yards rushing for him now to this point.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Kyler Gordon puts it off. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there.
It only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw is Fields. And his throw here's incomplete.
And when you've already thrown 2 interceptions, you got to take extra special care of the football because that one could very easily have been a third.
Yeah, off balance, pressure coming. Probably just has to stick that one in his pocket, right?
He does. I just think that when he's in a rut like this, I think this happens to a lot of quarterbacks, they try and overcome it by making big-time throws. Throws they know they shouldn't make, but they're hoping to complete them rather than having the confidence that they actually will.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd down and 12. From the gun, here's Fields. That's caught by Montgomery. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And that last turnover could have proven more costly, but their defense only gave up 3. But now answering with a field goal doesn't do them much on this drive. They need to try and find the end zone. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers.
That's complete to Dobbs.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
Another big gainer, 2 in succession, as this one goes for 32.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them a lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3.
78 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and goal. Rodgers.
He'll drop this underneath for Jones.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now what we have here, a 3rd and goal.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. To throw is Rodgers. Caught on the slant. Touchdown.
Bo Melton.
His 5th touchdown now on the year.
And the Packers are an extra point away from going back on top here in the 4th.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter.
Makes the score Packers 21, Bears 20.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
Velus Jones now from his end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter, and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Meanwhile, Fields' throw here caught by Mims.
A gain of 8 there on the play, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. To throw again on 2nd down.
Fields
being, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Here's Fields. And the comeback may stall out. It's intercepted.
Boy, shifts past him.
And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They face a 2nd down, but they are in field goal range. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. Rodgers looking to throw. 4 yards on the play, and that's going to lead to 1st and goal. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now Jones. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll look to run with Dillon, and he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. A.J. Dillon, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year, and the Packers will add to their 4th quarter lead. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Oh, the return is Jones from the end zone. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting here in the final minute.
Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league.
But the good news is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn cold. To be expected, I guess, for December football at Soldier Field. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And, boy, a rough start to this one as this kick goes out of bounds. Wishing he had a mulligan. That's not how you want to start the game.
Not at all, because not only do you give up the penalty and good field position, but it just kills the momentum of your team as you start a game.
On first down, Fields. Open man is Denzel Mims. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Fields. The throw for Claypool is intercepted. And the Packers are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass. So that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback, because he went into it, he saw the numbers we saw, he watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be, but early in this one, advantage defense.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. This defense for the Bears, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
Today's NFL, when you talk about goals for defenses, and you think that maybe you'd like to hold them under 14 points or so, we think our offense can usually get 17 to 20, so that's a reasonable goal. But when you hold a team under 100 yards of total offense, you're going to win 99 times out of 100. And the one game you lose, you'll know who to blame.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Now Rodgers. Got his man. It's Bo Melton. And he's going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
Stopped on the play by Jaquan Brisker.
Well, give them credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stop the run and then executed.